Hello everyone, this is Aaron from Ohio Bar Hop. I am coming to you from Land Grant Brewing Company in Columbus, Ohio today. I want to start a new series of videos focusing on what our industry is doing to keep people safe and what we are doing correctly to help people during this pandemic. A lot of the videos I've done so far, and I'm going to continue to do as well, have been focusing on what is happening with the bar and restaurant industry as far as the 10 p.m. cutoff goes. But a lot of the focus going forward, some of these videos is going to be on what our industry is doing correctly. Land Grant Brewing Company right behind me here is doing things absolutely correctly. They're going above and beyond what is supposed to be done to keep people safe here. I was so impressed with them a few weeks back when I stopped in. I wanted to pop back down and do a video to show you guys what they have going on here. If you're in Columbus area, I highly recommend you guys stop down and check out Land Grant. They got a great crew here and they got some great beer as well. So without any further waiting, folks, let's go inside and meet Tony. He's the marketing director here at Land Grant Brewing Company. Well, we are here today with Tony from Land Grant Brewing Company. How are you doing today?
Good, glad to be here.
Thanks for sitting down with me today and talking a little bit about what you guys are doing here.
Yeah.
I was really impressed when I first met with you a few weeks ago about what you guys are doing here in your business. You guys have a lot more to juggle than your standard business right now because you are on so many different fronts of the alcohol industry. You're on the production side, you're on the distribution side, and you're also on the on-premise serving side too. So can you tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing right now to keep your employees safe right now on the production side and throughout the rest of the process?
Yeah, so yeah, like you said, we're kind of like on all facets of this industry, and honestly I think it is to our benefit a little bit because it's our own product, so we can actually sell it. We're not relying on other companies being able to buy their product. We're selling ours. So when this all kind of happened, we relied heavily on our carry out, and we did like a little drive-through through our parking lot, and then we did a delivery service, which was pretty cool. So in that regard, we're kind of able to still make money, and then obviously with, like you said, off-premise with grocery and on-premise with bars and restaurants, when they shut down, that hurt quite a bit. But as far as keeping our staff safe, anytime anybody comes into this building that works here, we have to come through the back door. We do a temperature check. Everyone has to have a facial covering, and we wear these facial coverings all day long, unless we're at our seat and no one else is around. We tend to have meetings on Zoom and all that, so we're trying to do our best to stay away from each other as much as possible. We'll do some in-person things as long as everyone's spaced out. But we have hand sanitizer everywhere. We do the temperature checks, and if anyone is feeling ill, we ask that they do not come in. We will pay for their test. If they feel like they need to get a COVID test, we'll pay for that.
Oh, really? And so if someone comes in, you're actually offering them to go get tested? And
yes, if it's one of our employees, yes. If they're not feeling well, and we want them to go get a test, or if they've been around somebody, we'll go ahead and pay for that test. We do the contact tracing to make sure that no one else may have been exposed if that actually happens. And then if that person, which we've been lucky enough not to have that happen, but if that person is not able to work, we will actually still pay them while they're not here. So we're doing everything we can to ensure that if someone does fall ill from this disease, we can help them out and still pay them. Yeah.
So you're really looking out for your employees throughout this whole process.
Well, it's the only way we got through all this, right? Is everybody that works for us, and we feel like it's the right thing to do because and like a lot of our bartenders, they might not have like the health care, or they're paying for their own, so it can be very pricey. So we want to make sure that we're not, they're not losing any wages, and because it's not their fault.
Right. Yeah. So what kind of challenges do you guys have to overcome on your production end of things? Did you have to change the way you are operating back there to keep people safe?
In the back, it's pretty good. We make sure that the brewers aren't overlapping as much. We'll extend the brews, and when they're in the back, it's a little bit easier for everyone to kind of stay apart because they're doing different things anyway. And then on our canning line, everyone's already spread out because you have 3 or 4 different stations that people are working on, so they're more than 6 feet apart. So in that regard, that hasn't been a challenge. Everyone back there is wearing protective eyewear. They're also wearing masks, and they're also wearing gloves. So in that regard, besides the masks, it's not really different. They're always wearing protective eyewear back there and gloves. So that's kind of all the same. It's just sometimes it can get really hot back there. So, you know, when they're wearing the mask, it can be quite a bit. So a lot of times, like, we prop open the back garage door or whatever if they need to go outside and take their mask off and take a break. We obviously want them to do that. But as far as the back goes, it's been pretty much like business as normal.
You did have to change some of your production. You used to do a lot of keg sales, I think you said, and you changed over to a lot of cans now because of on-premise not being the same. Did that pose any challenges for you guys?
It didn't necessarily, but it's probably going to. The industry as a whole, we are going to be dealing with an aluminum shortage. So in that regard, a lot of these breweries just couldn't put all this beer into kegs. So where does it go? It goes in cans. We weren't open for a couple months, so we didn't have any draft beer. And then when we reopened, we just did cans. We're very lucky to have a 9,000 square foot beer garden outside where we can space tables and do everything that we need to do to keep people safe out there. But you know, you can't put that beer into kegs, so you have to put it somewhere. So you put it in aluminum. Most breweries are going with aluminum now. There are still some that do bottles, obviously. But the industry as a whole, it's going to be tough because a lot of this beer has gone into aluminum. A lot of breweries are changing from bottles to aluminum. And now we're in this situation where some breweries can't even get aluminum now.
You said so far you've had pretty good luck of maintaining your supply of aluminum cans.
Right now, I think we should be okay. We're still trying to source more if we can. Our supplier, you know, can't really guarantee necessarily what we're going to get, but we feel pretty confident, at least going into Q1 and into Q2 of next year, that we'll be fine. Our head production brewer, Chris, is doing everything he can to make sure that we can get what we need. We also have some old printed cans of beers that we don't make anymore, so we're actually looking into ways to wrap those cans to utilize those so that they don't go to waste and that we can actually still use them. So you're going to see a lot of breweries getting creative with how they package their beer going forward.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Now you guys got very creative on one end of things, and that's the distribution end. The last time I saw you, we talked about you guys were doing local deliveries.
Yeah. And
you were actually sending packages out of shipments of beer. Tell me how that worked out for you guys and what gave you that idea to start that.
Yeah, so luckily when the pandemic started, we weren't the only ones and we weren't the first ones to find out that we could actually deliver beer in the city. So a lot of breweries were very dependent on that money that was coming in because that was all we could really do. Again, like I said, we did the carry out or in the tap room, and like we did like a drive-through outside to keep people as safe as possible. But the delivery, it was crazy when the pandemic first hit. It was overwhelming how many orders we received from people who are just like, I don't want to go to the grocery store and I still want beer. I want to support a local company and I like Land Grant, so I'm going to have their beer delivered. So that was actually great for us. It helped us a lot in the beginning, to be honest. And then we're working with, so FedEx and UPS both have pilot programs to ship beer. So right now we are working with UPS and we can ship all throughout Ohio. So you can go on our website and order our beer. The minimum is $40, which is basically a case of beer. And then you can, if you live anywhere in Ohio, Toledo, Cleveland, Youngstown, anywhere where we make, Cincinnati, where our beer isn't readily available, you can have it shipped to your house. So it's great that we can do that. Before it was like borderline illegal. You really couldn't, you especially couldn't do it through the Postal Service, but it was great that these companies have found ways to allow us to get our beer to other people and into markets that maybe can't try our beer all the time.
Where do people go to find out where they can order that then? Do they go right to your website?
Yeah, so they just go to www.landgrantbrewing.com. There's a section Order Beers, and you can either select pickups. You can order off the website and then come pick it up. So if you don't want to come in and wait, which it's a really quick turnaround when you do come in, but if you want to have it ready and already pulled aside, so when you come in, all you have to do is grab it. You can select carryout at the brewery. You can select delivery, and if you select delivery, that's within Columbus area. We have all the zip codes. If your zip code isn't a zip code that we go to, it'll tell you right away. And then there's also the Ohio shipping, which is a flat fee of $20, which we just can't get around that. So, but if you're far away from the brewery and you really like our beer, I don't think $20 is terrible to get it shipped to you. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, last time I was here too, we talked a little bit about what you guys are doing for your on-premise sales, keeping people safe. You just opened your tap room back up.
We did this past Saturday.
Up until now, you've just been doing outside service in your beer garden. Tell me a little bit about what you guys have done to keep people safe out there with your ordering process, things like that, and then how things are going inside now that you've just reopened.
So outside, you know, we have a lot of space out there, but again, all of those tables are more than 6 feet apart. You know, we're spraying them down after every guest leaves with a proper sanitizer. There are sanitizing stations out there. We actually created another website. It's landgrant.app. And basically it's all contactless. So when you come into the beer garden, a host will sit you down, kind of give you the spiel of like how to order, and you go on that website and you can order your beer, and then it'll give you a QR code that then prompts you to go up to the bar and get your beer. So there's no long lines, we're not swiping your credit card, everything is through that website.
Payments through that site too?
Everything's through the website. We have a couple items on there too, like koozies and different things, and we also have mixed drinks and some like different beverages that you can get on there. And then what we did when we opened inside, we're doing the same thing. So there's a host, they'll seat you. We're doing everything on that app, on that website. So that way we don't have people going up to the bar to get their beer, and then we have table service. So you go through that website, you order your beer, the bartenders will get it ready for you, then they'll bring it out to you. So inside we're doing table service. And then I think outside we're going to shift to table service as well. But I think that's really helped. There's no long lines. People aren't standing. And again, if you're in the beer garden or in the tap room, if you get up, you got to put your mask on. And then obviously going to the bathroom, getting food is pretty much the only time I guess you would really, or if you're leaving, would be the only time that you would get up. So we have everything spaced out, again, to where it needs to be to keep people safe. And we feel like we're doing the best we can to ensure everyone's safety.
And you told me that your bartenders were actually wanting to come back to work and work inside. I know a lot of people right now are very hesitant to do things indoors, certainly understandably so. How did it work out this first weekend for you guys, especially with the Buckeye game and everything, with maintaining your protocols inside? Yeah,
it was, there were a couple publications did some stories on how bars were gonna, if they were ready or not, and if they were going to put anything else into place, any other policies and procedures. We've done a really nice job with our policies and procedures to make sure that no matter how busy it may get, we know how to handle it. So as far as the Buckeye game went, it actually went extremely well. We basically had everybody out in the beer garden. It was a little chilly, but it's just like tailgating. We didn't advertise that the tap room was going to be open, so I think we ended up having maybe 7 to 8 tables inside. But again, everyone feels very safe when they come in. You have, you don't have to go up to the bar. You're not super close to anybody else. Again, if you get up, you have to wear your mask. So, as far as the Buckeye game went, it was kind of like another day for us, which is great. The fact that we can feel that way and we don't feel like we're going to get bombarded with people, and it's going to be like super stressful. I feel like throughout the summer, we figured out how to run this whole thing and run it the right way.
I think you guys have too. You've really impressed me with what you guys got going on here. Unfortunately, it's businesses like yours here that aren't making the news, and that's what I'm trying to do, is showcase businesses that are doing the right thing here. And I think the vast majority of those of us in the bar and restaurant industry are really doing the right thing here.
It seems like it. I would say just from seeing people's social posts and then actually visiting some places and hearing from other people that there are certain places that they really feel safe at, and they feel like people are taking it seriously and doing it the right way. So it's nice that people feel that we are, and it's great when we feel like other people are kind of following suit and taking all the precautions and taking all the steps. This isn't ideal. Nobody really loves doing all this, but it's what we need to do. And I think as long as bars and restaurants can maintain this kind of policies and procedures, we should be able to kind of maintain and actually make some revenue and make some money.
I agree with you. Have you guys been able to have a decent year with revenue this year? Has it been a really devastating year for you?
It's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. And again, a lot of it attributes to the beer garden. We were very lucky to have that space out there. When this all started, we closed for a couple weeks because we wanted to make sure that it was like almost like a month. We wanted to make sure that we had outside figured out, that people felt safe. Did a couple dry runs with our associates to make sure that we had everything in place. But again, yeah, we're definitely not making the money that we should have or could have made this year, but it hasn't been as devastating, I think, as we forecasted, which is good news.
That certainly is good news. But
winter's coming, and that is very, that's the front of our minds. We understand that it's going to slow down quite a bit. We're doing everything we can. If anyone's familiar and they've been to Europe, they have the Christmas markets, or even just patios are open all year long in Europe. People don't care. So we're actually going to try to do that the best we can in the beer garden. We're going to have a Christmas market starting Black Friday. It's going to be every weekend starting Black Friday. So Friday through Sunday. We're going to have local vendors here. And then we bought an ice rink. So we're going to have an ice rink out there. We're going to do some curling and basically like beer, kind of like keg, like shuffleboard on the ice. We might open it up to like free skate if somebody wants to like rent the ice rink. They can skate if they have their own skates. And then we actually purchased 4 of those igloos, and we're gonna have heaters in them so people can rent the igloos and kind of still be outside, and they can have like 6 of their friends in an igloo. And then we have fire pits outside. So we're doing everything we can to ensure and to become a destination for people, because even with the inside open, when winter hits, we're not really sure what business is going to look like.
I think those are some really cool ideas, some fantastic ideas. I'm excited to see what that comes for you.
Yeah, we're excited.
And I'm going to give you a chance here to give you an opportunity to plug anything you want for your business. You got any products coming out or anything you want to plug right now?
So we're really excited. The main thing is we launched a brand new year-round IPA. It's called O'Shore. So we couldn't be happier with that beer. So we have a rotating beer series called Quadra-Hopic, and basically the brewers change up the 4 hops in that beer every quarter. So this beer kind of came from that series, which is very cool. And this beer has been perfected for over 2 years, trying to get the right recipe and get what we want out of it. So super excited about that. And the only other thing I would say is this upcoming Friday, October 30th, we are launching our 3rd collaboration with Jenny's Splendid Ice Cream. So we have a new beer with them called Bramble Jamble, and we actually they allowed us to use their Bramble Jamble, or their Brambleberry Crisp sauce that they use in their ice cream. So that comes out this Friday, and we're super excited about that one.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, thanks a lot for sitting down with me today and showing what you guys are doing during the pandemic to get things through and to keep people safe in the process, too.
Well, we appreciate it, and we appreciate what you're doing, and really highlighting the companies that are taking this seriously and doing the right things. And I think that's important, because I think sometimes we do get a bad rap, but there are people out there that are trying to keep you safe and doing the right things. So, yeah, we appreciate what you're doing as well.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.